M-commerce will reach a total of 3.1 trillion in 2025. Our payment solution is growing and it becoming more and more relevant in this ecosystem with a reach of 49 billion USD and a total forecast of 79 for 2024. Of course, we all motivated and do our best effort to take as much as possible of that growing cake, such as the merchants, service providers, and of course the carriers. Usually during the DCB Summit, we talk a lot about fraud, market growth, use cases, but less about customer specifically. For sure, any proper action to reduce unsatisfaction is good for all of us. Less churn for carriers, less bad reputation in case for merchant or content providers. And I'm sure that is key for all of you. We should take in consideration, beside this, that a satisfied customer will bring for you 5 to 6 new clients. This is a really important impact. This is why I believe that it's key for the success of our growing payment solution. But what is to be done to bring customer satisfaction with DCB? I'm Federico Rosado, Pre-Sale and Sales Payment Solution Director at Digital Virgo Group. For one who don't know our group yet, we reach close to $400 million income with 900 people. We cover more than 40 countries today. And we are pleased to welcome today to that conference. For my colleagues, friends, and experts, will tell you more about customer satisfaction then. From Spain, Iñaki and Fran. From France, Eglantine and Vincent. They will share with you the best practices to bring customer satisfaction, such as payment flow, secure environment, content quality, and customer service. Thanks for your attention.
Hi, this is Ignacio Molto. I'm the legal director at Digital Virgo, and I'm delighted to be here to talk about transparency in carrier billing. And basically, I will try to summarize the main ideas by answering some of the questions that will be around this topic. So, just as an introduction, it's very important for me to start saying that the fundamental pillar of customer satisfaction is information. Users are always looking for transparency in all aspects of their lives, even more when it comes to payments and financial relationships. The impact of transparency in carrier billing, I was saying before that information is very relevant because it provides transparency, and transparency is super important. It's a key role in the carrier billing business. First, because it involves financial relationship, but also for the intrinsic characteristic of this payment method. In the mobile payment industry, users are always looking for frictionless experiences, and that's why convenient and faster checkouts drive the customer satisfaction. Nevertheless, being charged without consent or not being able to easily unsubscribe we know that are the two main reasons why user complaints are rising in the direct carrier billing ecosystem. And in addition, it harms a lot the reputation for the key players involved in the transaction. That's why ensuring transparency throughout all the customer journey is essential to bring customer satisfaction, but also with it guaranteeing a sustainable growth. For me, there are basically two main solutions to ensure transparency in the carrier billing business while offering faster checkouts. The first one, super linked to what we were talking before, is basically implementing an easy, clear, and quick subscription and unsubscription flow. The direct carrier billing is characterized, we all know, by a quick and easy payment flows. One click to click flows, even with 3 click flows, you can make in direct carrier billing. But it's therefore crucial, very, very relevant that information is always clearly presented to the user, especially in relation to the price, as you can see in this example, terms and conditions, how to unsubscribe, which channels you use for doing that, ensuring that you are notifying customers at key steps in the payment process. And the payment process is not only one part of that, but it's everything. So the customer journey, the famous customer journey, starting from the banner, landing page, and obviously the confirmation message. The second solution to ensure transparency is being compliant with the industry standard. It's true that, and we've all seen that a super good practice was the guidelines provided by the telcos when doing direct carrier billing. But together with it, you need to keep an eye as well in which are the industry standards into the payment ecosystem, and are basically driven by the famous ISOs, the Standard for Information and Security Management, the International Standard and Quality Management, and why not as well the being PCI compliant. Going deeper into the carrier billing market, so the evolution of the direct carrier billing has basically driven us to be in a regulated market, and in order to fulfill with the PSD2, with the European Payment Service Directive. And then new transparency requirements have emerged. As long as most of the players should be with a payment institution or with an electronic money institution in order to provide the services, or at least being authorized for performing that services, and as long as a requirement in order to be granted with that sort of license, you need to be approved in a specific plan for the transparency needs to be approved by the supervisory authorities, then the fulfillment of these requirements is absolutely mandatory. What is clear is that regulatory and compliance issues play a super important and key role in the direct carrier billing business, so we should never take that for granted. So one tip, in order to grant the transparency, for me is key the customer journey. So if you pay a lot of attention into the customer journey, give for granted that you will get a transparency. Because by offering payment transparency and support where required, you'll observe immediately decrease in complaints, as well as an improvement in the customer satisfaction, and therefore a growth in the direct carrier billing figures.
Hello everyone, I'm Fran Sanchez, CMO at Digital Virgo, focused on South Europe and LATAM. Key to growth on DCB is to find a good balance between simple and efficient customer flows and sustainable business. There is a direct relationship between reducing fraud and increased revenue and other business KPIs such as ARPU and ROI, and increased customer satisfaction and loyalty. How I am so sure about this? Because we saw it in plenty of markets. So let me share a success story with one of our carrier partners that really illustrates it. Okay, as you can see on the graph, by applying all 3 levels of DCB Shield, that is our own anti-fraud solution on this carrier, we increased revenue by more than 115% in 9 months. We doubled the ARPU, and we reduced potential fraud to really irrelevant levels. Take a look at the data. Carrier was confident again to implement user-friendly flow only on services provided by trusted merchants. Conversion rates and all business KPIs improved drastically, and all this reducing and maintaining really low potential frauds. Now let me briefly introduce DCB Shield, that is the result of years of expertise in collaboration with our partners. Okay, DCB Shield has 3 levels of protection. First one is to stop online fraudulent practices over the customer journey. The second one detects and stops fraudulent behavior over the purchase page itself. And the third one raises alarms based on Digital Virgo's know-how on monetization and acquisition business KPIs. We are improving and updating this tool really on a daily basis, as fraudsters are finding new ways to do fraud on a daily basis too. So it's really mandatory to keep the tool up to date. Okay, let's be honest, fraudsters will be always there. So we need to understand that fighting fraud the right way is key not only sustain, but to grow business. We need to protect end users and improve customer satisfaction at the same time. And for that, we need a 360 technological anti-fraud solution.
Hello, I am Eglantine Guiburibo, Customer Relationship Director at Digital Virgo, and I would like to tell you how important it is to deal with customer care issue today. My priority in my job is to offer our customer care our best customer care services. Providing a good customer support has a direct impact on both customer satisfaction and revenue. 89% of consumers who had a bad experience with customer care stop being a client. So customer care becomes a real key impact. Our job is to change the trouble into an added value. The good news is that we can anticipate. The most common customer support issue are questions about the billing method, usage information, transaction failure, unsubscription demands, and refund one. When it occurs, it's essential to provide an efficient and agile customer care, which means to have many contact methods as you can: email, hotline, form, both. Okay, you have to multiply the type of contact, and then you have to display them as much as you can too. And for example, for me, the closest media is notification by SMS. And you have to work with a carrier, with your partners about this point to maximize this visibility. And the second part, of course, is answer itself. And you have to give the most complete answer as possible to the customer. As customer care specialists, we provide tools that facilitate the management of the customer care. For example, we give two types of portal. The first one is for carriers, for our partner, and they can manage the full relation with their end user. In that portal, they can have all information about the consumption, the billings, the navigation of the customer. They can answer to him directly. And this portal can be completely customized for the needs of the carrier in terms of information, and we can customize by the colors of the carrier too, and we can adapt to a global management to connect these tools to their CRM, for example, with simple APIs. We have a second type of portal, which is for end user, and they can be completely autonomous. And they can search for their transaction, they can unsub if they want, and they can contact us. And this type of self-care are really important to give the customer the power and to give them the possibility to contact us too. I truly believe that a top-notch customer care is the foundation of any business. Even more so in DCB ecosystem, because there are only two options: solve the customer issue and rebalance his satisfaction, or fail to do so, and then you lose the customer, you lose the revenue, and even more, your reputation. So that's why it should be so important and such a priority for both carrier and merchants.
Hello everyone, I'm Vincent Taradel, CMO at Digital Virgo. I'm in charge of content monetization business line, and I will speak today about how to be more relevant by localizing services and content to launch in a given market. So first of all, for that point, which is sometimes could look obvious, is that we need great content and great services to reach this customer satisfaction objective. But throughout the years, we've seen that this is, even if we connect with more than 300 premium merchants, so we've seen a lot of cases. We've seen also that it's not enough, and what is key is to really be able to bring this local touch to be efficient. So basically, the role of this work that we do for our partners to help them be more relevant is this to be more efficient in terms of performance, but also to be more relevant for the customers, and then obtain at the end better engagement of the customers and better revenues at the end. So that's basically the role, and it's also to make the difference with the competition. So that's where Digital Virgo added value stands. So we have 5 or 6 different levels that we have to cover when we speak about localization, because quite often we think that localization is about translating a service or bringing specific content, which is true, but which is not the only thing that we have to manage. And this is also what we've discovered and developed in terms of skills and expertise to really be very efficient with our partners. So the 5 key points are cultural and language adaptation, content adaptation also that goes with this, technology, being able to be also relevant locally means local teams, and then regulatory and pricing adaptation. So if I go very fast through those 5 topics, cultural, language, and content adaptation, one of the strengths that we bring is the local presence help us to be very relevant on those topics. And also even we have local agreements that enable us to even bring content that is relevant for the customers, local content. And sometimes a global player is more complex for a global player to reach this objective. Then on the technology, we have also to adapt and help our partners to adapt. For example, to be more relevant in a market where customers only use smartphones, first level smartphone, let's say, they cannot have the exact same application that people will have in the US or in Europe, for example. It has to be adapted. And then on the regulatory part, it's also covering a lot of different fields, like from getting an approval from the regulator on the local market, which is very heavy administratively speaking, or managing taxes, financial constraint, and this is in this field that also that DV can help. And then last but not least, what relates to pricing and marketing has to be adapted. Mostly pricing is key, and sometimes we need to convince our partners to make sure that their value proposition is matching with the market needs. So, in fact, the main takeaway is a sum up of all of this is not to forget the other aspect of localization, I would say, because the main aspect that is well known by everyone is translate, adapt the content. But also the technology, the regulatory, the pricing is also very key. And this is where we can give some good advices to our partners.
Petite, stop! Look, I need to borrow your hoverboard. Where is he?
I'm not saying it didn't mean anything. What I'm trying to say is that you're making it sound as if it meant everything.
Thanks very much, Iñaki, Fran, Eglantine, and Vincent. For the one who wants more detail, wants to dig a little bit more of customer satisfaction, we published a white paper. You could find it on our website, digitalvirgo.com. And you will have all the relevant information which brings success in bringing DCB in each market. Besides this, an introduction, I introduced a little bit about Digital Virgo. Let me give you a little bit more details about what we bring on specifically around the customer satisfaction and business growth. We developed a fantastic platform called DVPass. This platform is part of a big investment, lots of resource, a dedicated team which brings all the management services around the different features we bring. So some are, you will find in the brochure actually, some of them are like an easy integration, lots of analytics and monitoring solution. We bring also on board some management services, like I said before, like life cycle management of the merchants, of them services, monitoring of their services, also technically a very robust and innovative anti-fraud solution. We also could, for some carriers, bring in customer care management and e-reputation if necessary, and lots of other features which are evolving all the time and new features which are coming on board. So thanks again. If you need more information, any more details, don't hesitate to contact me or our team all over the world. Thanks again.